Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading for the week of October 25th. We're going to just jump right in here, Taurus, and we are going to see what is coming up for you this week. We're also going to pull 3 yes or no question cards at the end. So if you have questions, I will give you time to pause the reading and think of your questions. If you don't, that's fine as well. I will just be putting all 3 cards together. But Taurus, a pretty good reading. Your outcome is definitely positive, so I like to see that. But you start off with the Nine of Pentacles as your current energy. I like the Nine of Pentacles, feeling pretty good. I feel like you've been getting the Nine of Pentacles a lot as well in recent readings. Nine of Pentacles is a card of like wealth and abundance. It's also a card of kind of nicer things. So I don't know what the word I was looking for is, Taurus, but it popped into my head and then I lost it. But I feel like there's just like things coming in for you that you can be grateful for. You know, Nine of Pentacles, like, it's a card of material goods, but it's like things that you value. So for some of you, there could be, I just get this feeling of like something coming in for you that you really like value, or you're just thankful for having it. It could be like a car, maybe if you need a car or something like that. That's what's popping into my head. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be a car. I'm just saying, you know, that's like the best example I could come up with. But I feel like there's something almost valuable coming in for you, but it's like also useful as well. The thing with the Nine of Pentacles is if we purchase something with the Nine of Pentacles, usually it's also useful as well on top of being valuable, right? Because she has like 6 Pentacles normally on one side, 3 Pentacles on the other. In this deck, she doesn't, but in a traditional Rider-Waite, she does. So it's kind of like she's put out the 3 Pentacles for whatever she's purchasing, and the 6 Pentacles represents kind of like the value of something. So for a lot of you, that's like popping into my head. I've never delivered a message like that on the Nine of Pentacles, but that's what I feel. It's almost like you could be receiving something where it's like actually worth more than when you purchased it. That would be nice. But it could also just be more valuable in the sense that it's useful to you, like a car. You know, a car, it's like maybe you pay a certain price for it, but if it gets you to and from work, for example, then it could be more valuable than what you paid for it over time, right? Does that make sense? Probably not. I'm terrible at math, so don't quote me. Your crossing energy is the Nine of Cups. The Knight of Cups, I should say. I feel for some of you that the Knight of Cups is talking about your dreams, and the Knight of Cups, it could be a knight in shining armor. Nine of Pentacles could be being single, right? So some of you, that could be the crossing energy here. Some of you could be single and feeling it, right? And that's what I get here. Knight of Cups kind of represents needing to move towards something as well. And you have all these knights, 1, 2, 3. I do feel like there's a need to like make some moves here, especially for those of you working on projects. I feel like I say this to you all the time. Like if you're working on a project or a business, I would get moving here. Like I would start putting in work. Even if you don't know what to do, I would say just like something, right? Maybe you just need to write a paragraph. I mean, it could be so simple. Writing a paragraph about like what your project is going to accomplish. Doing something like that, at least it's going to get the energy moving forward, right? Sometimes I think that's all we need, is we just need to get moving forward. We just need to kind of start pushing something, need to just get something going. Reminds me, like as a kid in art class, like I used to have a teacher where she, in art class, she would come around, she would put like a random squiggle on your paper and then say, make something out of this, right? It's like she got it started for us, right? And I feel that's popping into my head. And I haven't thought about that in a really long time. But I feel that for some of you, where it's kind of like saying, like, I feel like you just need to get that, like, squiggle on a piece of paper. Maybe this is more figurative, especially on anything that you're trying to start, because I think it'll give you a place, it'll give you a place to start here, especially for those of you that are, like, hesitating, not moving forward, Knight of Pentacles here, that aren't making progress on projects, businesses, whatever it is that you're doing. I feel like you just need to get started, and that will, like, start kind of pushing you forward here. Next, in the area of your thoughts, you have the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is a card of conviction. It's a card of defending your position at the top of the hill. I do feel like it's more talking about protection. Just looking at all the cards you have here, Taurus, I feel like it's saying you should protect an idea. It's like you might have a good idea, and I would just be careful who you take advice from. As I always say, with like the Seven of Wands, it can represent you wanting to start a business, but it's like your cousin who, has been working at Dairy Queen for 20 years. I'm not hating on Dairy Queen, but, your cousin who has never started a business in their life starts giving you advice, telling you that you should get a job or something like that. It's like I would never listen to anyone who has never done something that you are doing, right? If your cousin was a multi-billionaire and had started 10 businesses, maybe you could listen to them. But like I said, I would be very careful of who you're taking advice from with that Seven of Wands. This goes for love as well. I always tell people, like, in love, I avoid single people like the plague when I'm in a relationship, because usually single people are lonely and they give terrible advice. And I've had multiple relationships that have been ruined because of, the other person, or me even, getting, involved with other people who are like single, and like, you shouldn't be with this person because of X, Y, and Z. It's like, really, what I've realized now in life is, like, a lot of times our single friends are like lonely and miserable, and they want you to be lonely and miserable with them. So I would be careful of who you surround yourself with if you're in a positive relationship as well. Next, in the area of your foundation, you have the Five of Wands. I actually feel kind of good about this, especially because we have the Knight of Wands right here. Five of Wands is conflict and competition, but really these people are training. They're using sticks, as I always say. They're not using swords. They're like learning how to fight, and I kind of feel like it's saying, in the area of your foundation, you are willing to kind of go on the adventure. You're willing to learn how to get something started, whether it's a positive relationship, a business, whatever. In the area of your past, you have the Page of Swords here. Kind of like looking for ways to be, successful in whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. Page of Swords card of curiosity. To me, it is like a card that represents childlike energy, but I love it as far as childlike energy is concerned, because it represents looking at things like a child. Children are curious. They look for answers. They look for, things to do in the world and all this other stuff. So I feel like you're kind of, in the past, you were looking for answers on how to get or accomplish something that you desire in your life. In the area of your near future, you have the Knight of Wands here. Knight of Wands is like very spontaneous, free energy. Makes perfect sense with Uranus in your sign. I talk about this in every single reading for you, Taurus. It shows up in every single one of your readings. But, with Knight of Wands here, I feel that you are feeling more free. I feel like you're kind of like going on this adventure. Five of Wands right here. And it would be a good time for you to go on an adventure. So if you're going on any adventures, these could be mental adventures as well. You could be like learning something. You could be studying something. So these things can be done in the comfort of your own home. If you're doing that, I do see a lot of success. I do feel that this could be love coming in for you. But I do feel like a little inconsistent energy here. So I would be careful. If someone's coming in and if they seem like they're a player, they're probably a player. In the area of the next few months, you have the Five of Cups here. I feel like you need to focus with the Five of Cups. He needs to turn around. And on this deck here, there's two cups behind him. On some decks, like the Golden Tarot, for example, there are actually three cups behind him, two cups spilt over. But I feel like you need to kind of like turn around and focus what you do have. The Five of Cups is about being grateful for the things that you do have. And that's what I feel like you need to see here. I also feel like it's interesting that you have the Five of Cups here with the two cups standing right here. And then right here, you have the Two of Cups. So for those of you who are looking for love, I do feel like there could be a relationship coming in for you. This is the area of your closest relationships as well. So you could have a close relationship coming into your life. Could be a Leo for some of you, or a fire sign. You always get fire or Leo in your readings. Knight of Wands right here. Could be any sign. This is just a general reading. So any sign could be coming in for you. I wouldn't focus on the sun sign if I were you in the first place. I would just focus on finding a good person, plain and simple. And that's what I would do with the Two of Cups. But Two of Cups is pretty straightforward. It says that, like, if you're wondering, if you're dating, for example, and you're wondering, like, who do I pick? Or, what type of person should I be looking for? Two of Cups is very simple. It says that you will be meeting a person where their communication skills are on point. They can communicate on the same level. So this would represent someone who has very good communication skills. I would also say that this would be a person whose ego is in check. That does not mean that they don't have an ego. It just means that they're able to maybe control their ego, or that they are in control of their ego. And it's usually something that would stand out. The way that I look at the Two of Cups as a person, like if you're wondering, if it's a person coming in, usually it can be a person who is more confident, maybe who is more bold, but they can back it up. Someone, I think, who has an imbalanced ego, it's like maybe they're very cocky and very showy, but they can't back it up, right? To me, if you got it, flaunt it, right? And that's kind of like what I get here. I don't think it's a cocky person or anything like that coming in for you. I just think it's a person. It's like they can back up the things that they say about themselves, about whatever, or about their capabilities, what they're able to do in life. And yeah, I feel like it's a good person. Next, in the area of your future feelings, you have the Knight of Pentacles. I would just get that squiggle on the piece of paper. Knight of Pentacles normally has an empty field behind him, and it kind of represents the fact that he needs to get started. He needs to start planting seeds. He needs to start moving forward. He needs to get things going. And that's kind of like what I feel for you here, Taurus, is that it's time to start planting seeds. Your outcome is Eight of Wands. Love it. Eight of Wands is quick success, so I do feel like if you get started on a project that you're working on, you will find quick success. Same thing in love as well. It's like if you're wanting love, if you put yourself out there, I feel like you will be accomplishing things very, very quickly. So let's see here, Taurus. We're going to clarify some of this and just see kind of what is coming up for you. And all these cards are flipping around on me, of course, so let's fix it. For your center card here, you have the Tower with the Nine of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. I feel for some of you that there could be some sort of change. I'm going to clarify that right away. What is the change? The thing that you're working on. I feel like you need to be like, okay, making a change here as well. Sometimes I think we get stuck on an idea. You know, like if you're, I feel like this is true for those of you that are starting a business or looking for a career, or maybe you're just looking for a project to work on. You know, you could be retired and you could be thinking about working on a project. The Tower can represent being reduced down to its something being reduced down to its foundation. But like what's popping into my head is that there might just be a pivot here, and I feel like you need to be okay with the pivot. And here's what I mean by that. It's like the guy who wrote Game of Thrones. I always think of him, right? It's like before he wrote Game of Thrones, he was writing another book about something totally different. I don't remember what it was, but the whole point is like he pivoted. Like he realized what he was working on maybe wasn't as good as a new idea that he had, and that's kind of like what I get here for you. It could be a little frustrating. It's like it's happened to me before, like where I've been working on projects and I just kind of realize it's not going to work out and then I have to start over. I kind of get that feeling for you here, but at the same time, you know, I would look at it as a practice run. It's like, again, if George R.R. Martin, who wrote Game of Thrones, if he didn't have that first practice run, maybe he wouldn't have created such a, you know, a successful series, right? If he didn't start writing the other book first, you know, it's kind of like a practice run. That's kind of, I get that energy for you here, Taurus, where it's like you've had a practice run. Maybe you've already had this, I feel, for some of you, or it's like you're about to have a practice run where maybe something isn't going to turn out how you want, but I feel like the next thing is going to, so don't give up. With the Seven of Wands, you have the Strength card here. Yeah, this is going to require strength. The Seven of Wands, this is showing up in the area of your thoughts. Again, I would protect your thoughts. I would protect your ideas. With the Five of Wands, you have the Four of Pentacles here. I wouldn't get stuck in the struggle. Sometimes I think we get stuck in the struggle, you know, because, I don't know, we're too used to it. And so if we're not struggling, we're like, when's the bad thing going to happen? You know, so it's like if we're used to struggling, sometimes I think people who are like used to struggling in business, for example, if they're not struggling, they create a struggle because they're too used to struggling. Same thing in love as well. It's like sometimes I think if we're used to struggling in relationships, we get into a good relationship and we're like, there's something wrong because there's no way I can be with a person who isn't going to cause a struggle. So, you know, don't look for the struggle here, Taurus. With the Knight of Wands, Sun, definitely Leo, like I said. You know, I feel for some of you that there could be a Leo coming in for you. Doesn't have to be, of course. It could be any sign, but I feel like there's a lot of happiness coming in for you. Like I said, this is freedom. The Sun is a card of freedom, and I kind of got that feeling with the Knight of Wands. I almost feel like you're being given free time right now. It's like study hall. Like it's almost like the universe is sending you to study hall right now. And I feel like at this time, and I feel like you should take advantage of this time. It's like maybe you'll start things and you won't finish them. Maybe you'll, you know, get into relationships and won't see them through to the end. But I almost feel that's like the best way I could describe it, Taurus. Maybe it's not 100%, but you know, I feel like you're kind of like in study hall at this time. With the Five of Cups, you have the Moon here. Yeah, the Moon looks like things aren't working out, but the Moon also represents innovation. It represents doing new things in your life. So that's what I would do there. With the Two of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is, again, values. So you have the Nine of Pentacles twice here. Some of you could be going from single to in a relationship. I like to stress the fact as well that the Nine of Pentacles doesn't mean that you are going to be single or that you are even single. It just means that, you know, to me, what's more important with the Nine of Pentacles is the fact that she is truly independent. She's not like, oh, I'm independent. Like a lot of people say they're independent, but they're really not. They're very codependent. She is truly dependent. She is willing to give 3 pentacles worth of energy, time, love, effort, whatever, to a situation, but she's keeping enough, 6 pentacles, for herself so that she doesn't get burnt out, so that she isn't left, destroyed after a relationship. So she gives in true balance, basically, by doing that, and that's what I feel like you're doing. You could also be doing this in a business. It's like if you give 3 pentacles to a business or a job or a career and it doesn't work out, then guess what? You still have 6. You can give another 3 pentacles to something else. So it's like you have more chances than you realize. With the Knight of Pentacles, Empress, whatever this is, look, empty fields, wheat growing in front. You're about to step into this abundance if you get started on something, Taurus. And with the Eight of Wands, you have the Queen of Swords. I feel like you're very clear on what you want in life. So I would just get started here, is what I would say to you. I like this reading. I like where it's going. I do feel some of you are kind of in this like frustrated space, especially if you're having to start over in any area of your life, but it's good reading. We're going to pull 3 yes or no question cards now, Taurus. We're going to do 1, 2, and 3. Feel free to pause this reading if you need time to think of your questions. For question number 1, I would say no. I feel like a rushing, hasty decision here. I would say no. For question number 2, I would say yes. I feel like you've earned this with the Hermit. The Hermit is like going through a dark night of the soul. He's climbed to the top of the mountain, so yes. For question number 3, I would say yes, 3 wands. I feel like you're kind of waiting question number 3, but I feel like it's good. Putting this all together, I feel like you're about to see results. Here's the thing. It's like the Hermit has already gone through the BS. He has already climbed to the top of the mountain. 3 wands, like, what are you waiting for here, Taurus? I feel like I say this to you, like, every single reading. I asked you a question in the last reading. I don't remember what it was. It was right here, like in this position. I remember it. And I can't remember exactly what I said, but it was like similar to like, what are you waiting for? Like, it's like you've accomplished something, 3 wands, waiting for the perfect moment when there never will be a perfect moment. It's like you've earned something, so it's like, why wait for the rewards? I feel like you have to go for it. Really good reading. I like where this is going, Taurus. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.